Rap music. Enjoy, enjoy. That's more than just a sound. It's a movement, a culture, and a language of its own. From its humble beginnings in the streets to becoming a global phenomenon. The story of rap is one of the innovation, rebellion, and yeah, and some of the probably biggest genres ever created. It's also known as hip hop. But where did it all begin? Let's rewind. Welcome to the entire rap history. The birth of hip hop, late 1970s and early 1980s. It all started in the Bronx in the late 70s, while disco ruled the dance floors. A new underground movement was born in the streets. DJs like Kool Herc and Grandmaster Flash started experimenting with breakbeats, looping instrumentals, yeah. And by the early 80s, hip hop, with the early 80s hip hop rise, groups like Run DMC, the Sugar Hill Gang, and LA Cool J helped bring rap to the mainstream, with Rapper's Daylight becoming one of the first commercial successful rap songs. The mid 80s to early 90s, that's when rap hits its golden age. This was when hip hop became more than just party music. Artists began using it to tell deeper stories about society, struggles, and personal identities, which is mostly known because of NWA, the group, which I won't say their name, its full name, because it's racist. I don't want to be racist. So it had Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, DJ Yella, more people, and they began the real West Coast style of hip hop. And it was also the birth of gangster rap, which is now not that much known, but back then we had some songs like The Police and Straight Outta Compton, which was a movie, and they just got started. Dr. Dre became one of the biggest artists in the game, but we're going to talk about that later. So yeah, but like also, Public Enemy used rap as a political tool, speaking out against systemic racism. Tribe Called Quest brought jazz and smooth flows into their mix, kinda known as G-Funk, something like that. Meanwhile, two of rap's biggest legends, Tupac and the Notorious B.I.G., emerged with completely different styles, but both would go on to change the game forever. The East Coast vs. West Coast rivalry, mid-1990s. So, in the 1990s, hip-hop was divided, not just musically, geographically. The East Coast and the West Coast rivalry became infamous, leading the rise of iconic artists like Jay-Z, Nas, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, and the notorious feud between Tupac and Biggie. It was a dangerous time with violence and tensions boiling over. Despite the tragic deaths of both Tupac and Biggie, their legacies continue to shape hip hop to this day. The rise of the South and new subgenres. By the late 1990s and early 2000s, the South became the new epicenter of hip hop, bringing a new sound, vibe, and influence. Outkast, Southern Playlist, Southern Playlistic, bro. Why did I wrote it that way, bro? So, Southern Playlist, Icadillac, I don't know, Music, Masterpiece, No Limit Records, and Cash Money's Rise made it clear South was here to stay. Atlanta's influence grew with artists like Ludacris, T.I., and later Young Yeezy and Future, one of the biggest artists nowadays. And in New Orleans, Lil Wayne redefined what it meant to be a rapper. With his creative wordplay and later his legendary mixtapes, the 2000s and the mainstream explosion. Meanwhile, in the 2000s, the mainstream explosion was unstoppable. Jay-Z had solidified himself as one of rap's greatest, while Kanye West emerged as a new kind of rapper, combining raw introspective with high fashion and an entirely unique production style. 50 Cent dropped Get Rich or Die Trying, and with his street anthems he became a household name. Meanwhile, Kanye was making his music that felt like an artistic revolution, giving birth to albums that crossed genres from the college dropout to graduation. The evolution in 2010 and beyond. The 2010s brought an entirely new generation of rappers to the forefront. Drake used rap with R&B and became one of the most influential artists of the decade. Kendrick Lamar with albums like Good Kid, Mad City, and To Pimp a Butterfly put provoking lyricism back in the spotlight, earning the Pulitzer Prize of Music in 2018. Rap began to cross boundaries like never before. Travis Scott's fusion of trap beats with psychedelic influence, or how Lil Uzi Vert, Cardi B, and Migos took over the airwaves. Rap was now more diverse than ever, influencing not just music, but fashion, culture, and social media. The digital age and streaming era. And here are we today, the digital era, with the rise of SoundCloud and platforms like TikTok. A new wave of artists have broken out, often gaining massive following before even stepping a foot in the studio. Rappers like Lil Nas X have blended genres to create global hits, and live streaming virtual concerts and collaborations are now part of rap's expanding world. Music is more accessible than ever, and it's all happening in real time. From the Bronx to the world, rap's journey From the Bronx to the world, rap's journey is one of evolution, revolution, and connection. Whether it's the beat, the bars, or the culture, hip hop isn't just a genre, it's a movement that will continue to shape the future. But now let's dive a bit deeper. into the big things with the Drake and Kendrick beef happening recently. I was saying the evolution in 2010 and beyond, including top 28 in Kendrick Lamar vs. Drake. This was not the actual thing. I was just taking that out because now it's coming. The 2010s, I don't think we need to tell that again. It all started in 2013 when Kendrick Lamar dropped his iconic Control verse, a track that sent shockwaves through the rap community. In the verse, Kendrick took aim at several of the biggest names in hip-hop, calling them out by name and declaring himself as the king of New York. A move that sent ripples of tensions throughout the industry. But it wasn't just about the East Coast or the West Coast. Kendrick was saying, "I'm here to challenge all of you." And while many took it as a call for local competition, Drake, one of the few artists Kendrick mentioned in that verse, wasn't thrilled about being called out. Later that year, Drake responded indirectly during his performance at the 2013 OVO Fest. Or should I say OVO? Okay, I shouldn't say. Subtly throwing jabs at Kendrick without directly mentioning him. As the year went on, the tensions kept building, and fans began to wonder, was this a genuine beef or just a part of the competitive spirit of hip-hop? Then, in 2015, the battle seemed to heat up. Drake dropped back-to-back an iconic diss track aimed at Meek Mill, but many believed that his line, "Is the world tour or your girls tour?" was a shot at Kendrick Lamar's relationship with his fiancée, which created more flames. Although this was primarily this aimed at Meek Mill, fans couldn't help but feel Drake's comments had a broader implication of the growing tensions with Kendrick. Then Kendrick Lamar dropped The Heart Part 6. 4. No! In early 2017, a track that felt like a direct challenge is Y'all got till April 7th. Wow! Y'all got till April the 7th to get y'all shit together. Seemed aimed directly at Drake, with many speculating Kendrick was preparing for all-out lyrical war. But even with all the shots fired, neither Drake or Kendrick ever officially acknowledged a beef, and it seemed that both artists continued to focus on their respective careers, quietly leaving their rivalry unresolved. Despite the tension, both Kendrick Lamar and Drake continued to dominate the rap scene in the 2010s. Kendrick's Damn won the Pulitzer Prize for Music, making him the first rapper to ever receive such an honor, while Drake's views cemented his position as one of rap's most commercially successful artists. Both Kendrick Lamar and Drake's influence reached far beyond just the rap world. They were shaping pop culture, fashion, and even politics. Their rivalry, or whatever you want to call it, felt like a reflection of hip-hop's evolution into a global force. Well, Kendrick and Drake have largely moved on from the competitive days, the influence is still felt in every corner of hip hop. The rivalry may have been one of the most public and intense of the 2010s, but it helped push the boundaries of what rap could be. From lyrical battles to personal reflections, both artists left a mark on the genre. Then, in 2024, Future, Metro Boomin, and Kendrick Lamar dropped the song Like That. I don't know the exact dates of the songs, but I know which year they are, and I think also in that order. So like the whole beef basically started when Drake put J. Cole on his song First Person Shooter when they said who is the biggest MC? Is it the biggest MC or best MC? I think it was the biggest MC. Kendrick, or we or me? We the big three. Like we started a league. And Kendrick didn't like it like that. See what I did there? Like that. Kendrick didn't like that. Okay. And yeah, Kendrick was just one of the many artists that put it on We Don't Trust You, the album. I think it was We Don't Trust You. Future dropped so many albums. And yeah, it was basically just many artists that hate Drake on one album. And with that song dropping, the first one who responded was J. Cole with 7-minute Duel. Legit, like 2 days the song got taken down from himself. But it was actually pretty good for him. And Kendrick didn't drop for quite some time. It was just him being there and waiting for Drake to respond. And yeah, Drake responded. Drake responded with I think Push Ups? Family Matters. I think it was Push Ups for Family Matters. And instantly fired after that. Not instantly fired after that. Family Matters. I don't know right now. I'm a bit confused. Kendrick then drops. I think it was Euphoria, and after that directly 16 LA. I think. Well, it's confusing with the names and the times. And yeah, Drake couldn't even respond. Kendrick instantly putting out Euphoria, I think, after that, and then Meet the Greyhounds. Drake is recording a diss track. Kendrick Lamar, not like us. Meet the Greyhounds, I want to go more into that song right now. That song is just a masterpiece of a diss track. First, Kendrick Lamar addresses every family member, even Drake himself. In that song, he's directly talking to them. In that song, not in a real conversation. He's legit just naming them and then talking basically to them. It's a WhatsApp thing. I don't know. I'm German, so I don't know what that means. So WhatsApp, voice message, but in a song mode. And then the beat, bro, it's just what the no, it's just good, bro. And then he's also talking about a secret, like, what was it? I think it was, yeah, daughter. A secret daughter from Drake. The same thing is basically happening in Not Like Us, but in Not Like Us. Certified Lover Boy, certified. Kendrick instantly won with Not Like Us. Even though, yeah, Drake dropped Hard Part 6, which wasn't really a good song. It's just trash. He couldn't even stand a chance against Not Like Us. Not Like Us was the killer, bro. Kendrick Lamar just chilled for a second. Winter. For me, a Friday. 8 is 6 p.m. For me, it was a Friday. 6 p.m. Kendrick Lamar post GNX. The video, not the album. I was like confused, bro. I was confused. Like Kendrick just dropping out something randomly, and then an hour later or something, like for me, 7 p.m. Kendrick puts out GNX. I've heard every song. I fell in love with the album. Probably one of his best albums he made. It's my opinion. Don't judge, bro. Everyone has a different music taste. And yeah, it was just that good, bro. It was so good that I would just say it is so good. Like, then there's also Squabble Up, which may be secretly a diss track against Drake again. But the biggest thing is there. Kendrick played Euphoria and Not Like Us at the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was for me something really good. I liked it and I enjoyed it. If people say, yeah, the crowd was making no noise, I don't care. I was making noise. Even though I wasn't really there because I live in Germany. It was in LA. So, yeah. I don't care. But, like, West Coast changed over the years so hard that I would say West Coast nowadays is definitely worse than West Coast old school. Even though we have, like, Kendrick Lamar. Drake kinda tried to come back with his new album, Some Sexy Songs. It's a collab album with Party Next Door. The only song that is good that I actually have on my playlist is what's the name? Nokia. It is a good song. It has a catchy vibe. The rhymes are good. The hook is good. And that is the whole thing. That is basically it. I just like it. The whole thing just escalated when Drake just thought that he could win, but then he died. Anyways, I think this is taking a bit too long, so I wouldn't say anything more, so that's basically the story of rap history. But the journey is just getting started.